Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for joining our session today. Today's session is Infor Benefit Enrollment Events, Unlocking New Capabilities for a Better Experience. And this is being presented by Kelly and Mona. My name is Molly Velasco. I'll be helping moderate the session today. Please be aware that the session is being recorded. And quick logistical information before we get started, please use the chat feature to ask any questions throughout the presentation, and we will be sure to address them. There will be a Q&A session at the end where you can come off mute and ask your questions, but we ask that you just use the chat feature for questions during the presentation. At the end, highly encourage you to take advantage of that time to come off mute and speak directly with our consultants and ask your questions and interact. A copy of the presentation and a link to the recording will be sent to all registrants. If you're not a registrant and you would like a copy, please send me, Molly Velasco, an email and I will include you on the distribution, and I will drop my email in the chat in just a minute so that you have it. So next slide, just gonna hopefully talk a little bit about Nordic. If you're not familiar with us, just wanted to give you a brief background on who we are and what we do. So Nordic provides a broad range of consulting services, including strategic advisory, digital and cloud initiatives, implementation and support, as well as managed services. In partnership with our clients, we help solve complex IT challenges to help make technology more useful and more beneficial to your business. We consistently deliver business-changing impacts that make health systems and the people they serve healthier. So if you are thinking about moving to the cloud, or if you're going through an ERP selection process, on the next slide, just wanted to tell you about the different offerings in our ERP division. So Nordic Advisory Service offers unbiased ERP reviews and selection services. We can help you identify the benefits of moving to a cloud ERP solution, manage the selection process, and measure the results. If you've already made the decision to move to the cloud, Nordic's prescriptive implementation approach will ensure you have a best practice approach to get the most out of your software for the least cost in the quickest amount of time. And then for those organizations that have already made the move to the cloud, at about 6 months after go live and every year thereafter, we recommend that you have Nordic perform an optimization assessment to make sure that you're realizing the value of the implementation and taking advantage of all the features in your product. So no matter where you are in your ERP journey, Nordic has people for you. So we encourage you to reach out to one of our solution experts via our website, or you can always shoot me an email and I can put you in touch with someone as well. And finally, just a quick disclaimer, and then we will move into today's presentation. So the material in the presentation is in reference to Infor Cloud Suite and is for informational purposes only. We just want to provide you with considerations as you make the best decision for your organization. Reliance on the information presented without consultation is at your own risk, and we highly recommend that you contact Nordic to discuss how solutions can be tailored specifically to your needs. So with that, I will turn it over to Kelly.
Thank you, Molly. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in this lovely world of ours. We're going to start with a little bit of it. I'm Kelly Gilbert. I'm the Director of Service Delivery here at Nordic Infor ERP Services. I actually specialize in the HR talent modules, and I also manage our support services team. So you'll be having the fun time with me today, and I want to thank you all in advance for giving up your Friday afternoons for this session. We're going to start with an overview, and then we're going to talk about enrollment event setup coming soon, and then answer any questions we have. Mona Pollard was supposed to be here with me, but it looks like she might have got tied up, so maybe she'll join later, and she'll help me answer any questions. So Infor benefit enrollment. In Infor benefit enrollment in Cloud Suite, even also in S3 days, we do enrollment events. Enrollment events are used to define open enrollment, life events, and COBRA events. They also control how these events are displayed to the individual. Open enrollments include a set date range in which individuals can enroll in benefits. Life events include a defined amount of time around a life event in which the individual can access a benefit changes. For example, a new hire is considered a life event and or rehire. You might give an employee 30 days from their hire date or adjusted hire date to enroll in benefits. We're going to talk about open enrollment setup. For open enrollment, we set up organizational rules. After you've created enrollment groups, you must create rules for each organization. Organization rules define how current benefit-related information is displayed to the individual. Enrollment displayed current benefits. So organizational rules. For enrollment, you have responsive, use step enrollment, or filter choices based on dependent. If you use a step enrollment, which I highly recommend, benefit administrators can use this box to organize their enrollment process into steps. You go through an introduction, you go through enrollment. It's really step by step. I have been using this for my clients since they deployed this. It is absolutely amazing. And this is something that's really cool that they came out with is filter choices based on dependents. Select this checkbox to have only the plans that would cover the dependents the employee intends to enroll displayed during enrollment. If they do not intend to enroll dependents, then only individual plans and waive options are displayed. So again, makes the enrollment process very intuitive to the resource. So for Infor Open Enrollment, you go to Benefits, Administration, Organization, and then go to Enrollment Display. And there you see our two little flags. And then under Current Benefits, you define the parameters you want for those benefits. Do you want the dependents and beneficiaries separated or together? Cost display by, I think it's month, pay period, annual, so on and such forth. Coverage options, salaries, all your parameters for how the employee are going to see the benefits displayed are under the organizational setup.
Kelly, sorry to interrupt you. On your two slides back, somebody had the question.
Hold on. Boom, boom.
Or maybe three. The question was, what does responsive mean?
Just that is a great question. And honestly, I don't know. I'm assuming that it's the versions responsive, meaning I can utilize step enrollment and or filter choice based. I have these upgraded to my my tenant. But that's a good question, and I will have to find out for you. I do not know.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I wish I did. Actually, I'll take that as a takeaway. I will make a note. One moment, please.
Okay.
And that was Rachel. Gotcha, Rachel. All righty. Talked. Okay. So I think we're on enrollment groups, correct, Molly?
That's correct.
All right. So enrollment groups are a list of benefits that have been grouped together. For example, all my medical plans, all my dental plans, all my life insurance plans. It could be you want to group in all your hospital indemnity plans, all of your disability plans, so on and such forth. They are added to a group to show them together in enrollment. First, create the enrollment groups and then add the benefit plans to that group. They can then be added to the enrollment rules. So go to enrollment groups, go to benefit plans and enrollment groups, and you define the enrollment groups here. And here they also shows the information that we want, again, shown within that enrollment group. Who's covered, spouse, dependent, or domestic partner. The dependent age criteria, that when they're in an age out of being eligible to be on that plan with their parent, with their parents. So on and such forth. So current enrollment groups, as you can see for this plan, my current enrollment groups, excuse me, for this enrollment, program enrollment, we have our health plans set together, our dental plans, our life plans. This is the order in which they're displayed. I know that I did see on some of the questions that were presented prior to this session, recommendations for how this should be set up. Usually what we do is all of the health, dental, vision, life plans would go first, and then any other optional plans or supplemental plans would go towards the end of enrollment, is how I've seen it set up. And the clients seem to really like that.
Kelly, one more question came in.
Yes, ma'am.
So if they activate that step enrollment that you were talking about on your first couple slides, do they have to rebuild any currently set up life events or open enrollments?
I don't believe so, but I would definitely highly recommend going through in your trained environment and looking to ensure it has a nice flow to it. It just looks a little different. It actually has it in sections, and I should have logged into, give me 1 second here. Let me get into our dev environment. Let me show you what it looks like. That I'm a visual person, sorry. I think that will help, and I should have done this prior. Take a 2-second pause. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm almost there. So hopefully you can all see my screen now. So this is in our demo environment, our test environment. And so I'm creating a new higher enrollment for Dolly Parton. So I'm going to enroll my dependents. So this is how the step enrollment looks. I'm going to enroll my health plan. I pick one, hit next, and it tells me what's wrong. Apparently I'm only eligible for health, but it would go through it. But you see all the steps listed on the side, and I could go up and back depending on where I am in the process to go to where I need to be for that enrollment. So that's what it means by step enrollment. If you do, if you're already utilizing open enroll, or excuse me, life events or enrollment events, and you do not have it selected and you then choose to select it, I would just go back and make sure you go through this process to see what it looks like, to see if anything does need to be tweaked to where you're comfortable and how it looks. Does that make sense? Thumbs up if it does or doesn't.
When we have another question related to step enrollment. So are the sizes of the coverage option cards adjustable? They have 3 plans with 4 coverage tiers. When we turn on step enrollment, it feels like the employees are scrolling forever.
Unfortunately, no, it's not adjustable. That's delivered.
Thank you, they say.
You're welcome. Great questions, by the way. I love it. Thank you. So again, for enrollment groups, you create your organizational rules, you add the group, add plans to the group, and then you create the enrollment event, and then you define the enrollment rules. So it's very intuitive. Let me get another one. Again, like I said, I'm not an employee. I want to go to benefits. Enrollment events. I lost my screen. Sorry. It's hidden. Okay. There we go. Sorry. Enrollment events are used to define open enrollments, life events, and career events. They also control how these events are displayed to the individual. Open enrollments include a set of date range in which individuals can enroll in benefits. As you can see here, the enrollment date is 1/1 of, well, for next year, we have 2026, if that's when your benefit period is. And our open enrollment was running from 7/1 of 2023, it'll be 2025 to 8/31 of 2025. That'd be a good, that's a good space. Usually, I see it about 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. What we highly recommend on enrollment events is to use the copy action to avoid rekeying options and rules for events with similar attributes. So if I have an event already created, I could right click, click copy it to the other one, and then make any minor adjustments needed. If you want to change any of the verbiage, change the flow of how the enrollment goes, you could do that prior. Enrollment rules control how an enrollment event works for a benefit eligibility group. The enrollment rule defines how the enrollment event is displayed to the employee, the content of the automated emails that are generated, if applicable, and the benefit plans that are available. A resource can only see benefits for which they are eligible. So again, it goes back to no matter what version you're on, just please remember a resource will only see what they are eligible for. So if I'm not eligible for company paid life because I'm a part-time employee, but I can choose some of the optional benefits, I won't see any of that information. But also what I highly recommend doing is putting this all in one of your test environments, train environments, and not only you look at it, but have other people in other departments say, hey, would you mind coming over here, logging in as an employee and taking a look at this and getting feedback. Highly recommended. So enrollment events, we define the cost basis used for enrollments, the finalized rule, the flex plan rule, if applicable, email automation, which I highly recommend, email automation going out to the employees to let them know, hey, enrollment's coming up, you have this time, or we had an organization, we created a really quick Infor process automation of flow to shoot out an email saying, hey, it's been 2 weeks, you haven't done this yet, you haven't completed your enrollment, to try to push them towards completing their enrollment for our open enrollment, how the enrollment is going to display in your enrollment groups. And of course, enrollment events, again, review and submit what's happening there, what your messages are, and then our summary settings. Some really cool features that I really, really like that are definitely out now and have been an extreme help and benefit to anyone that's been using them is the multiple benefit plan prerequisites. So one of my organizations that I worked with, I have to, the employee has to be involved in optional life before a spouse or a child can be enrolled. So we have this prerequisite tab that said, hey, they have to be enrolled first. Otherwise, I'm not eligible to take it out on one of my spouse or my children. So that was really cool, like that. With the enrollment event, the user is informed that one of the prerequisite plans is required to select this plan, error if not selected. So they were trying to select this benefit, but they didn't have the prior plan. So the system's going to tell you right here, wait, stop, hold it. You can't do that now. Then with step enrollment, I can go back to the prior steps, complete what I need to do in order to get this benefit. Also enrollment restrictions. So I use this especially so to ensure a person doesn't enroll in multiple plans. Okay. If I have like a high indemnity plan and a low indemnity plan, I will put this enrollment restriction saying if you select this one, you can't select this one, and vice versa. That way, this ensures they're only enrolled in one plan, and it helps to ensure the employee doesn't get double enrolled. In my experience, unfortunately, I've seen where employees just start clicking everything and anything and not understanding what they're doing. This helps mitigate some of the issues that causes having them enrolled in multiple levels of the same plan. Dependent enrollment. So again, I love this part: benefits, administration, organization, enrollment displayed. I think I said that earlier. Filter choices based on dependents. This is newly created employee events will need to have dependent information completed before the enrollment selection is displayed. In-step enrollment, dependent and beneficiary is like the first step. So that there is going to define on whether, and that information plus this filter will define what benefits are displayed for the employee to enroll in during the enrollment process. So it's really, really cool. I love it. Benefit step enrollment organizes the enrollment process into a sequence of steps. You can configure introductory information and as text and make videos as part of the benefit process. This is really cool. Introduction and enrollments are the phases of the user experience. In the introduction, the user views a sequence of pages that serve either of two purposes: offer information about benefits enrollment, collect benefits information from the employee. Introductory content includes text and video. In this phase, the user can update personal information. It includes up to 4 pages: welcome, video, employee information, and dependent information. If the employee completes all steps in the introductory phase, the employee advances to the enrollment phase. In the enrollment phase, the user enrolls in benefit plans, submits documentation, and reviews and confirms the enrollment. Benefit administrators must enable step enrollment at the organizational level. They can't configure enrollment events. So you have to have step enrollment enabled at the organization level, which we showed you earlier, in order to configure the step enrollment, which is all this fun stuff here. You can, again, attach videos, have all your planned spec docs links attached there. It's just very, very beneficial to the end user. This is not part of open enrollment, but a hot topic that we thought we would bring up here for you all today. Secure Act 2.0, which is taking effect of 1/1 of 2026. Preparing for setup and best practices. These are the KB articles from Infor that has all these informations. They also have, I think now, 3 videos out there. One for HR talent, one for S3, and one is just an overview. But please, Secure Act 2.0, guys, it's coming. There is some setup that needs to be done to accommodate for this, some flags that need to be set, reports that can be run, uploads that you can do, just some things that a lot of the setup I hate is BSI and the group code. So just be prepared. It's out there, and it's coming whether we want to or not. So that is our presentation for today. What other questions may I answer for you?
There was one more question in the chat, I think related to the Secure 2.0. It sounds like
Yes.
they're both, yeah, okay. Well, thanks, Mona,
Yes,
for
there
answering.
is. Thanks, Mona. Hey, Mona, what does the responsive mean? It's just a flag in the benefit plan setup that they needs to be responsive in order for those 2 boxes to show up, right?
Yes.
That was it, huh? Yes. You're talkative today. So, Rachel, when you're setting up your benefit plan rules, so to speak, or the the enrollment rules, they need to be set up as responsive for those other 2 selection items to be able to be displayed. That was a question from about 20 minutes ago. Does that make sense, Rachel? If not, let me know. Yep, she said, okay, thanks. Perfect.
Okay.
What other questions might I answer for you today?
Feel free to come off mute.
Hey, I have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, when we go to finalize our annual enrollment elections, after AE or inactivate, those people who didn't complete annual enrollment, is the best way to do that like via ISD? We just find that otherwise you could be sitting there for hours, finalizing or inactivating. Just wondering what other clients do, or if there's any way to speed up that process.
I will give you my response, and then Mona can also chime in because she is much more proficient at this than I am. But I have found ISD is the quickest way to inactivate all of this.
Okay.
I download it from there, sort it on, I download all the enrollments, where it says all enrollments, whatever. Some are finalized, some are in process, blah, blah, blah. Some haven't started. And then go and then take what I need out of there and then upload it. But Mona, would you concur?
I agree with Kelly.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I'm marking that on the calendar, people. But yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
what I have done.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
As it relates to step enrollment, when someone is choosing a coverage option with dependents, it's been our experience that if they select associate plus spouse, they're not able to enroll that spouse at that moment. They select and then it says resolve errors, you must enroll dependents, and they have to go back in.
Okay.
Is there something?
May I ask what version you're on?
I can't even say that I know.
Okay. Are you on the Cloud Suite version?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. So that I know has been resolved. So it might be something in your setup, because I know for a fact I am testing open enrollment for another client and I select spouse. It makes me select that at that point. After I select that, it goes to now add dependents, and then I hit that button and I'm allowed to enroll my dependents at that time.
Okay.
Um,
Maybe we have to play around with the setup.
okay.
Also, make sure that double check and make sure that you don't have any customizations and stuff around your setup where
Valid
you're
point.
not getting the latest Infor updates.
Well, and then also though, what I'm going to do, because this is going to be a great lead into my next slide, is dun, 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 coffee with consultants. So we are giving complimentary 30 minutes with a Nordic ERP expert. And so for, I don't have your name, it just says HR Discovery. I think it's a group of y'all. But reach out, we can get together for 30 minutes, take a look at it. I can show you what's delivered, and then maybe, how it's supposed to work, and we can figure out why it's not working for your area.
Thank you. Can I ask one more question?
Of course you can.
So is there a setting that allows us to see during open enrollment what someone's previous elections were compared to what they've elected now? Because last year we just, we go through and we validate everything, and it just made it kind of hard to do that comparison. Is there a setting for that?
You would actually sort of have to look at current state, future state. What I did do for another organization that asked me a similar question is I created reports, and then they could do a compare between the two reports.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Kelly, you have another question in the chat. So how do other clients handle document submission during open enrollment, as Infor does not currently have an option to attach documents during open enrollment events?
Thought they did. Mona? Is it after the
Yeah.
fact they go back in and do it? Do you remember?
The attachment of the documents is there. I just can't remember where it is, but you can't, I think you have to, because some people require like your marital, I mean, just not even just open enrollment for any of the enrollments.
Yeah,
They require documents. So if your documents are not being required, you could be missing a flag that's not set.
So I'm going to come off mute for this one. Life events in general, you can attach documents to, but for open enrollment events, there isn't a setting to allow for documents unless you're aware of something new.
Susie,
Right, so-
I'm gonna take that from you and provide your answer back.
yeah, I was gonna
Thank
write down
you.
Susie Howard's name. I wrote you down, Susie.
Thank you so much. We have an enhancement request for this if anyone else is having trouble with it also.
What we did for open enrollment was we created an event just for people to submit their dependents or their new dependents ahead of open enrollment. And so once we were able to, and because you can attach them to the life event,
Gotcha.
that's how we did that. And then once we approved it or finalized it, then that dependent was connected with the profile. And then when they did open enrollment, they could continue forward. But I think ours also, yeah. I think that's what we did.
Okay. I see them. I gotcha. Got thousands of them now. The next question was, do we need to use the Secure Act 2.0? If you provide any kind of retirement plan and Mona, is it over 20 people?
I think, yeah, it's a very low number.
It's a very low number, then you have to comply with Secure Act 2.0. Again, recommendation is to go, Infor has great information out on their website on Infor Docs, all about that and the legalities of it. So I would recommend looking there. Go ahead, Rachel.
Sorry, this is another question, not about the Secure 2.0.
That's okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. We've only used the open enrollment feature in HR Talent once because we migrated back in middle of 2024. So it's a small issue, but it requires us to do quite a bit of validation. And when we set up our enrollment event last year, we like to have the benefits pre-selected. So the employee, like if they want to keep most of their stuff, they can just click through what they already have. But then we found that when finalizing, if somebody had some sort of life event change during the open enrollment process, if we were to finalize it, it would revert them back to their previous benefit selection. So like, say I was single and then I got married and added my spouse in the middle of open enrollment, but not as an open enrollment feature. And then we finalized the open enrollment process, they would be kicked back to employee only. I'm not sure if we're setting something up wrong or if anybody else had that issue. So, and what we ended up doing is, oh, and sorry, it only happened if we were doing a passive enrollment and somebody didn't enroll. So say I don't go into open enrollment because I assume that everything that I have currently will stay the same for the following year. That's when we had the issue. So what we ended up doing is we've only finalized the people that actually enrolled, and then we did the benefit plan update for the people that did not enroll. So it turned them over 1/1/2025. If that makes any sense at all. Sorry, this is kind of pretty.
It does to me, and I don't know what you think about this, Mona, but that almost sounds like a product issue. Did you open a ticket with Infor on this?
We didn't, because it only happened with one or two. Well, no, I think we did, and they said it was working as designed. We tried a couple of different pre-select date options and didn't get the result that we wanted. Yeah.
They do process their life events first versus
We-
the open enrollment event.
So our life events, the benefits administrators actually do manually at the moment. So it would have been a benefit administrator going in, changing the employee's election, stopping and starting them with a different coverage option. But that would have been like in between the enrollment period.
Well, I can honestly, now that you said what you said, Mona, and then Rachel, you said what you said, think about it, at this certain point in time, I'm giving them open enrollment, right? So it's looking at the benefits at that time. But then during that period, my benefits administrator went in and changed the benefit and added the spouse.
Exactly.
So it's going to fall back to what it was at that point.
It took the snapshot, so you need to refresh it.
Correct.
And when you say refresh it, are you saying delete the enrollment event for that individual?
Delete the open enrollment and create a new one.
Gotcha. So maybe we just kind of maintain that process through our 2-3 weeks of open enrollment if somebody makes a change. Is that what
If
we're
someone's
saying?
making a change as a benefit administrator because of a life event, then maybe your process should be go ahead and go over. Hopefully they haven't finished. If they've already finished or submitted, then you're going to have to tell them they're going to have to re-enroll, or just you guys do it, because either or, and then go ahead and delete their enrollment, then recreate it because it'll have all the new information.
Gotcha. I think that makes sense. Okay.
You can
thank
let
you.
them resubmit multiple times during the open enrollment process.
Well, and it happens with us mostly when somebody
After.
doesn't enroll, when we have a passive enrollment. But all of the responses make total sense. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That's all great.
It has
You're
to be,
welcome.
because you also don't know what the employee wants for the next year. You're gonna have to communicate with them.
Right. But the employee's assumption is if I don't do anything, my benefits will continue as normal in the new year. And if we're finalizing, that wasn't happening. But I think the refresh is that's just a process we'll have to add in.
I think the problem is after you close the open enrollment, before the beginning of the year or whenever your plan year starts.
Yes, that too, actually.
After you already finalized. That's the bigger problem, I think. At least for us, it is, to keep that in sync.
Thank you all. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Actually, Infor is not submitting the updates late. They're waiting on BSI. So it's sort of a catch-22, but I would agree. October is a little late, but unfortunately we have to do what we can do. Spousal surcharge. This is a good one, Mona. We would like to induce a spousal surcharge if the spouse is offered coverage elsewhere. I'm not sure how to best collect this information during OE. For current and new spouses enrolled in medical plans, has anyone done anything like this? I personally have not. Mona?
I haven't.
So we haven't done it yet, which means.
So I'll tell you what I'm thinking. So you know how there's a smoker flag that you can have them check for spouses? I think something like that would be perfect. Because if they check that they have coverage elsewhere, then they're, when you check the smoker flag, you can have a different premium just based on that flag. So,
True that.
Agreed.
But then what if I have what if my plan has both?
right, exactly. Yeah, we're already using the smoker flag, so I'm really stuck on how to. I was thinking about a spousal, like one of those dependent questionnaires you can do, but I need them to also answer that question if they already have the dependent, not just for new ones. I'm really stuck on how to do that. So you
We
use
have,
the survey? Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say use a survey to answer that, and based on the answer of that, that's
That's
what would be
perfect.
displayed.
Okay, so can you push the survey to current? I've never used the survey, so I just started playing with it. Can you push that to current dependents?
Do you mind
I
if I
thought the
come
survey
off
might
mute
just be.
and answer this one? We currently do have a survey for the spousal surcharge if their spouse was offered coverage somewhere else based on how they answer these questions. And we have it set at the very beginning of step enrollment so that every employee has to answer it, whether they have a spouse or not. That was the
Okay.
way that we got our employees. So they either, are you covering your spouse? Yes or no. If they say yes, then it goes on to ask more questions.
And is it that dependent survey that you're using for that? And I love that, by the way. That's exactly what I was envisioning.
Okay. We just call it a spousal survey, but I'd have to look into it further, but I'd be happy to connect with you separately if you'd like.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Thank you so much. I've been just rattling around in my brain around this and I can't figure it out. So if you already solved the riddle, that would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Susie.
Sure.
great conversation. Thank you, everybody, for being so supportive. It's greatly appreciated. Molly, I think I caught everything in the chat unless I missed something.
I think we're caught
Yeah.
up.
Yep, I think you are.
All right. So Molly, I sort of got your consultants with coffee spiel in.
Yeah.
I'll let you do the next one.
Okay, sounds good. So hope you can join us for our remaining August sessions. Please reach out to me if you need help registering. My email is there at the bottom of the slide. Next week we have Beyond the Basics and discovering untapped features in the Infor mobile supply chain management. And Casey is doing that one, and she is a phenomenal consultant. So encourage you guys to come to that. And then on the 29th, we are doing an FSM presentation, just key considerations for successful FSM implementation. And then hopefully we'll get a chance to see you at the next in-person Infor event, which we are attending, which is the Western Infor User Group in Washington. So if you are attending that, please come look for us. We would love to get a chance to talk to you in person. And Luke Neal, who's pictured there, will be there. So look for him.
Susie Howard, are you going? It's in your neck of the woods.
That is actually, I'm employed by Valley Medical Center, so I will be there. Yes.
Awesome.
Well, Susie, Luke is on the phone. So Luke, you find Susie, you hear me? And treat her well, Luke.
I'm on it.
Thank you.
Looking forward to meeting with you.
Likewise, Susie.
Well, that is our presentation for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was honestly, you guys were phenomenal. I love the collaboration of everybody on the phone. It's greatly appreciated. Again, we have our coffee with consultants. So if you want to chat for 30 minutes just to get some feedback, look at some stuff, we're here for you. Just reach out to Molly. She'll get it scheduled. And as always, have a great rest of your Friday. And thank you for attending.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Mona.